Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. So on Sunday we saw the FA Cup final take place at Wembley Stadium, and it is congratulations to Emma Hayes and Chelsea after they beat Manchester United by 1-0 thanks to Sam Kerr scoring. Again, obviously being in such a final like that and on a big occasion, you always know that Chelsea can rely on the Australian international to turn up in the big moments and get the goal when it's needed, and how propelled Chelsea to victory. Now, obviously Manchester United will be very disappointed at losing their first major final. They played really well throughout the first half, definitely had some of the better chances, and I think were slightly the better side, with the likes of Leah Galton, Millie Turner and Alessia Russo having a few chances for Mark Skinner's side. However, they weren't able to put any of them past Ann-Katrin Berger. And then as the second half came on, you saw Chelsea grow in their confidence and show why they are one of the best sides in the land. And I think for me the main changing point in this game was the substitution to bring on Pernille Harder off the bench around the 60th minute mark, because she had such a massive influence in that second half, and how she got Chelsea playing. You saw their confidence grow as the game went on, and obviously from the throw-in that happened, Pernille Harder assisted Sam Kerr putting that low ball driven cross across the box for Kerr to put in. And yeah, once I saw that go in, I thought Chelsea just knew how to take their chances when it came to it in the big moment, and their confidence just grew after that. And I found it was going to be always hard for Manchester United to try and get back into that, and it proved case in point. They definitely had chances along the way after that Chelsea goal, but they just weren't able to put anything really past Ann-Katrin Berger to force extra time or penalties. So congratulations to Chelsea, as they have won their third consecutive FA Cup and show why they are one of the best sides in the land. And yeah, looking forward now, obviously both sides are still competing for the WSL title and will be back in action. Chelsea later on in midweek as they face West Ham United, and then Manchester United aren't back in action until the weekend. So it will, obviously those two sides will be competing for that as we come towards the business end of the WSL season. And I think, looking at the game on a whole, fantastic to see over 77,000 in attendance at Wembley Stadium to set a new domestic record for a club game in England, so that's absolutely fantastic on that part. Manchester United obviously going to be disappointed with the result, but put on a good showing in their first ever major final, and will know the right steps to go forth in the coming years to obviously try and get past that final hurdle and lift up that trophy of the FA Cup in the future, or even the Conti Cup in future seasons. So Mark Skinner's side obviously going to be disappointed with the result, but heads can be definitely held high on that regard. And Chelsea once again showing, like I said, the clinicalness and why they are one of the best sides in the land, getting that key result. And can they go on and win the WSL? It obviously remains to be seen, and you wouldn't put it past Emma Hayes' side. So let's have a look at all the action from the European leagues, and we'll start off over in Germany and the Frauen Bundesliga, because we saw a big shock this weekend as Eintracht Frankfurt beat VfL Wolfsburg by 4-0, and that has put a real hamper on Wolfsburg's title chances because of results elsewhere. On Friday, Bayern Munich beating Hoffenheim by 1-0 now means Bayern Munich only need one more win to win the German title this season. So big shock there for Wolfsburg, but Bayern Munich now know they can't slip up by their last two games and they should be champions. Elsewhere in the German Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen beat Turbine Potsdam by 5-1. This result means that Turbine Potsdam will not be playing in the Frauen Bundesliga next season and have officially been relegated. Obviously, if you know your women's football pass, you know that they have 6-time champions of the German Bundesliga and have won the Champions League twice, so it's going to be a massive disappointment not seeing them in the top division of German football next season. Elsewhere, Duisburg and Freiburg played out a 1-1 draw. Werder Bremen beat SGS Essen and Meppen beat FC Cologne. Over in Spain, and it was a good comeback victory for Real Madrid as they managed to beat Levante by 3-2. Alba Redondo had scored twice earlier on for Levante, however a goal 2 goals from Caroline Weir helped Real Madrid in their comeback victory. Elsewhere, Barcelona beat Athletic Club by 3-0. Atletico Madrid were held to a 1-1 draw, and there were wins for Levante Las Palmas, Granadilla Tenerife and Madrid CFF, whilst Real Betis Alaves drew 1 apiece and El Hama Sporting Cuevla drew 0-0. And then finally, over in the Italian league now, Inter Milan beat Fiorentina by 4-0, with Tabitha Chawinga scoring a hat-trick, continuing her fantastic season over in Italy and proving why at this minute she is one of the top strikers in European football, because she will always guarantee you a goal. Elsewhere, league champions AS Roma were held to a 2-2 draw with AC Milan. Parma and Como game finished 2-2, and Sassuolo beat Pomigliano by 2-1. So they are the results from the European leagues. We'll be back later on this week to look ahead to the weekend's action as we come to the curtailment of all the leagues. Now we're into like the last 2 weeks or so. As I said, Chelsea, they play in midweek against West Ham United on Wednesday in one of their games in their game in hand. Should they win that, they will go top of the WSL over Manchester United. And then elsewhere, we have Everton taking on Arsenal. Again, that result for Arsenal would put them that little bit closer to getting Champions League football next season. So that is it for this week's recap. We will be back, like I said, to look ahead to the weekend's fixtures and look back on those 2 WSL games, and obviously any other talking points that come out from around the world of women's football. You'll hear it on our channel, but if you don't, make sure you follow us and subscribe to our Twitter and Instagram pages so you can keep up to date with everything as and when it happens. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to this channel with the post notification bell turned on, and we'll see you soon.